Wagwan people, sisi hawa Tuesday morning kama kawa. Hope yako imeanza vizuri. Of course yetu imeanza vizuri, tunashukuru Mungu. Tuko hapa kama kawa, holding it down for this man Willis Raburu, bado anapumzika. Sisi tuko hapa tuna do it like we do it each and every Tuesday. Alafu za topic ya leo I really need you at home to get on board. SMS number 22422. Mujipeleke na step pia hashtag ya daybreak, because this topic is for all of us. Na niko na magal child hapa leo. Atuanze na wewe. Hi Georgina.
Pretty Sarah, how are you?
How are you?
Good, good.
How's the week been?
The week has been good. Nilipata another flu, maze poleni.
Pole.
So if I leave you worse than I found you, it's unfortunate.
Tunajua, unajua hii kukusia ukiko watu hivyo, tunaanza kumedicate.
Maze pole, but overall it's been well. Yes.
Highlight. I keep asking people about their highlight because it's good to know that I achieved this.
Highlight.
Something good happened to me.
Very many things happened, but I was very ill to think about them. So feeling better is a highlight. Okay, it was bad. Guy, yani mpaka cold cup hazifanyi kazi. Like you're waking up feeling so much pain everywhere.
But now you're good.
Now I'm good.
Kabisa. Bobby!
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Amazing.
Ani nini umetulia hivyo? Na hiyo ndo nilikupigia simu jana ukaongea. Yeah, called her. She was like, shut up. I'm like, yo, what up?
Hiyo ni ile voice yangu ya kusikia poa. Nikisikia poa, ukitaka tu kujua nasikia fiti.
Yes.
Ni hiyo sauti. Yes. Mimi highlight yangu I think inakwanga tu like being able to rest very intentionally, because I'm such a person who is always on go. So when I can rest, that is the best. That's why leo niko very happy, very relaxed. Nimechill, nasikia tu poa.
Kabisa.
Uko vipi?
Mimi niko best, nashukuru Mungu. Haya, nimeuliza kuhusu Madaraka because our topic today inatoka from kitu iliongelewa Madaraka Day. Okay? In the president's speech kuna kitu alisema about the evolving family in Kenya. Na akasema kulingana census za 2019 inaonesha saa hii single parents population ya Kenya is 38.2% from 20% to around 38.2%. So I kept asking myself, what? 38%?
That's crazy.
That's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's something that cannot be wished away. Yani we have to discuss, has family evolved to that? Is there something we are doing right? Is there something, ni factors gani hizi zimetuleta to this point where watu hawezi ishi pamoja like zamani? You know, it is being called a traditional family structure, the way it used to be. If you travel to the West, you find, for example, if you went to Europe, they really hold dear a family structure, the way there is father, mother, you know? So up around, I kept asking myself, we saw, sisi growing up, we saw our parents living together and everything, wakivumiliana. But pale zitu umefika, imefika pale yo, haiwezekani, zidi. Wanna get, na ndiyo, kama at sahi is at 38%. Now that was census ya 2019.
Yeah.
Okay? That was before Rona. Because when Rona came, things went east.
Down.
We made babies.
So it double, whatever it is. I'm sure if they were to do another census right now, those figures would have gone up. Because after Rona, vitu ziliharibika. Unaget? So I am asking, and when he said this, watu wenye walikuwa kwa mtandao, when we brought Oleni, both are you.
Oh Lord.
Okay. Watu wenye walikuwa kwa mtandao kabisa wakichanti story, mostly ilikuwa ni madem. Unaona wakisema nini kwa nini mtatuforce tuishi na watu na sio lazima. So brought me here today and I said let's have this na nyinyi peke yenu. Muniambie from your perspective what could be the issue.
This is not a very easy topic because factors ni mob. Like you said, we've grown up knowing that the family life is the fabric of society. Even in school literature, kulikuwa na father, mother, children. Like that's all we knew. It was father, mother, children. And that is what was normal. But these days, things are crumbling, you know. People are coming from very unstable, emotionally unstable families. Therefore, you don't have the emotional capacity to build long-lasting relationships. And even if you're coming from a family that has a father, mother, and, father, mother, they do not have the love in it. You know, there's no love, there's no intimacy, there's no communication. So you grow up having been emotionally crippled, you see? So other factors, kama sai, tukiongelelea sama dem, this is 2022, you grow up in such a situation where, for example, kuvumiliana, I'm using your words, Mama amechapwa 24/7. Anavumilia. You're seeing how your mother is struggling. Your dad is a drunkard, and if he's not a drunkard, he's working for the family. I agree. Your school fees is being paid. You're eating well. You have everything you need, but he is unavailable. He is emotionally unavailable. The boy child obviously is looking up to a father who is not there in any capacity, you know. So again, you just grow up emotionally crippled. For the girl child, me, I'm not about to have the same cycle going around. All I've seen is my mother being battered and bruised and abused, I'm going to bail out, you know. I'd rather, I'm that girl. I grew up from a single parent. My mom was a single parent. And of course, there are a few things that I missed out on, but she did the best she could, you see? But out of that, me, I just wanted to be a single parent, have a nice looking kid, raise that kid by myself, you know? Yes, until I fell in love. I met this very young man, and I fell in love, and everything, you know, changed. But me, I was very ready to be a single parent because that's all I knew.
That was your norm?
That was my norm, yeah? And when I come now into a family that has a father, mother, not like my in-law, father, mother, I'm like, I'm not very sure how to relate to the father figure. I don't know. You know, but there are people that make choices. Like I am a strong, independent woman. I don't want this pressure. You see, like this culture of memes. You see a meme where this is how I'm sleeping, knowing I'm not being cheated on. You know, nobody wants those problems.
I always repost that.
You know, I'm sleeping comfortably, knowing I'm not being cheated on. So I make that choice. Me, I don't want to be cheated on. I don't want that hassle of being accountable to somebody. You know, then there are unfortunate cases where, let's say you're a rape victim.
True.
You know, you're gonna have to raise that child by yourself.
That's true.
And if you don't have yourself, well, you have maybe your mother or your grandparents, you know? So we've already created another cycle. Then there's a time in high school, like almost every other girl was getting pregnant. You remember? I don't know what was going on. Then we also have that set of people who, let's say, what's it called? Teen pregnancies. Yeah,
yes.
Rape victims, people that actually do make a choice influenced by what they grew up in. And who else? Who are this other cluster of people? You?
Watu wanachwa.
But okay, you raise a good point there. Kuna watu wana grow up in single parents families, ama kuna single parents wenye wako sahi, maybe because of death, you know, of your partner, ama hata divorce. Una get hizo nazo tunajua zina exist. Hata tukigrow uko najua hii area iko hivi na hivi, si ndio? But sasa kuna hii generation kama yeye amesema ali grow akifeel being a single parent is the thing. Una get? Na kuna watu are doing it out of style.
Choice.
Like wanauliza hivi Bobby, kuna watu wataget mtoi na msee for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Haja picture what happens after this child. There's this pregnancy. Then what next? Kuna get?
Yeah.
So do you think kuna watu wanna get into this situation kwa kutaka? Like they just decide this is now the kind of family structure I had. You see, when we were growing up in school, there was extended family, there's the nuclear family.
Yeah.
Now there is another single parent family. Do you think people are getting into it because they want to? How many circumstances?
I think making children in whatever situation is very intentional, whether it's as a mistake, except like if it's rape or such, you know. But I think by the time you feel like you're old enough to be having intercourse, then a baby is, you don't get a washing machine dropped off at your, at your doorstep.
There you go.
There's always a possibility of having a kid. And by just that already, that's a very intentional decision. And yes, so many people are having kids just to have kids, and some people are having kids very intentional with the intention of being the sole parent, and wako tu sawa, mi staki jama in my house, staki mtu mwenye anani stress. And I think that times are changing and we are evolving, and vitu zina change kusut times venye zina move, and we can't be, unajua mbona kutumia wadi yako vumiliana, unajua mbona mademu walikuwa nabaki kitambo kwa relationships, it's because they did not have the choice or the luxury to leave their marriages. To have a bank account, you had to be married. To be respected anywhere, to be listened to as a woman, to even get like a pay raise, they had to know, oh, you're married to Nani and you have kids, so that is how women have always been living in oppression. And our shoshos did not leave because they couldn't. If they were in situations that maybe they were able to leave because they were really being abused and all these things were normal, it's just that now we have social media and we're more aware, so we're able to talk about it. I'm able to come on TV and say, hey, chali yangu alikuwa ananichapa na tuta discuss. Those things were not happening kitambo, and women did not, or victims of abuse did not have a space to be able to come out and speak about their experiences or what they were going through. So I'd say, while I understand what the president was trying to say in whatever he said about single families, I also understand that times ina change na vitu lazima zi change kusut situations zenye ziko saizi. I mean, the ideal situation is to have a two-parent household where a kid is very, very emotionally supported, financially, like wholesome to growth, because ata daddy akimiss, itaonekana kwa huyo mtoi, itakuwa very evident as they grow up, whether it's a woman or a man. That's why we have daddy issues and mommy issues, and now as grown-ups we're in therapy for these things, because some of us even had both parents in the home, but it was more detrimental than being with just one parent, because it was constant chaos, constant problems. So see, in that situation, afadhali madango angejitoa ndo atu save. So it's not that everyone who's doing this is just very clueless. I know we're very intentional about having kids, because just by the fact that you're having intercourse, that's already a decision you've made. But I think I'm happier when people are able to leave situations that do not suit them, other than staying to save face or to look like they have a family. There's this lady, I forget her name, but I really, really like her. She's from, I think, South Africa. She was doing an interview and she has so many baby daddies. And she was being asked, I can't remember how many kids she has, but every kid has a different dad. And she's a radio host. So she was being asked, like, you know, the one who was asking her the question was kind of trying to shame her into, you know, feel ashamed, like, oh, machali wote na watoto wako wote ni wa different. And she said something. She said, why would you expect me to stay in a situation that does not suit me just because we have a child?
Yeah.
I will be very comfortable in living any situation immediately respect and love is not being served, because her job is to protect her children. Hizo vitu zingine extras za sijui machali na mahazi, hizo ni extra. If someone does not want to be present as a dad, it's way easier for you to find a solution than to stay in the situation and keep asking, you know, show up, be there, love me, text me, be there for you. Like, it's too much. It's too much. And right now, women have the power. They have the choice. They have the finances. They have the support. They're able to leave situations that are not building them and to just go out. And women and men, I just say women because I'm a woman, but I mean like everyone. I would really advocate more for people to leave situations where they're not happy, so that it doesn't create iyo contempt na sasa abuse ianze. Kama una feel too high work, ka uko na watoi, nini, don't stay for the kids, don't. Times in a change, tuna evolve, and right now we're at a situation where, like I said, we're not living in the same times like our shoshos. Saizi tuko na voice, tuneza speak out, tuneza seek for help. And while it is unfortunate that kids are not growing up with, you know, stable, wholesome family, like tradition type families, it is important that they're safe and happy.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I jump on what she said?
Yes.
in as much as I agree with what you've said, one thing that I would have hoped to hear is communication. You know, what happened to real communication?
Yeah.
If you are unhappy in that relationship, what happens to communication? Mbona hatukai chini tuongee? Na kama hatuwezi juu tutapigana, mbona hatuendi counseling? Why aren't we involving professional help? You know, because instead of just throwing the child out with the bath water first, you know, in terms of just leaving, what happened to real communication?
It brings me to the point that I wanted to raise after this. By the way, to vilify anyone kwa hii situation, kama umejipata unaishi as a single parent, ni life imetufikisha hapo, si ndio?
Yeah.
That is what is happening, si ndio?
Yes.
But now there's something you've said. Why are we not involving professional help before we even get to professional help? Okay. First, zamani, when issues like this would happen, you'd go back to your parents. You would involve your parents.
Yeah.
They'd help in molding you guys. Say if you're a young couple, your parents would come on board and mold you and sit you down. Like your mom would come, his mom would come, and you talk you down and show you how to live together. You know. But currently, is that happening with the parents of today? If your daughter came to you and told you, "Mom, I'm not happy in my marriage," what is the first thing as a parent you're saying today? Is leave that man, or are you trying to mend things? You know?
Yeah.
That is one. Number two, there is then, if this is happening so often that you get into a marriage, you have a kid, and then you realize I'm not happy with this guy, and you want to break up with this guy. Is it that now we are rushing into things like the way I said last week? Are we getting into situations with people, then start learning them when you already have children with them? Or are we supposed to first learn people, then get into relationship with them? Where are we having things inverted?
Honestly, it just goes back to that transition from child to adult. It is from that transition kila kitu inaharibika. Because if you're coming from an unstable family or setup, everything is bound to be unstable. Emotionally, it's like these days now, every man is like a honeybee, you know? You're just jumping from one flower to the other. Every man is constantly boasting of how many boyfriends and wives and mipango ya kando they have, you know? And women are in it primarily for financial stability or for financial support. There is really no love involved in relationships in the 21st century, I gotta be honest. Like, the smallest percentage that has love, intimacy, and commitment and faithfulness, ni kidogo. But it all stems from, again, where you're from. It just stems from where you're from. And it's like 2-3 generations, you know? So since that has already happened, since we know the problem ishaanza huko kitambo, transitioning from child to adult, now as an adult, now you have a responsibility to yourself and also the generations now after you to make the right choices, you know? Again, we cannot now start blaming what has already happened. We can't now be the what ifs, I wish. No. It has already happened. I remember saying this last week. This is not the reality on the ground, you know? Yeah. So as a 30-something-year-old man, I am pretty sure you're able to make a decision, you know? Am I able to raise a child differently from how I was raised, you know? Am I able to do better for my child and myself and my family? I was brought up by a single parent. There was some... I was lacking in a few things, but now I have children and I have a husband. I'm not perfect in any way, but I'm constantly learning, you know, to bring up these kids, say, with less deformities, emotional deformities that I had, yeah, because I have to make that decision. And that decision involves a lot of reading, you know, a lot of reading, a lot of seeking information, counseling, you know. I have parents I can ask questions. I have older couples that I can look up to. It's a lot of work. Like, at the end of the day, you have to put in work. Yeah.
Bobby, are we willing to put in work? This young generation we have today, are we willing to put in the work? Ama wewe ukifili kidogo haikui. This is si haribu time like. Are we too quick in deciding like this haiwezi work? Ama ni pia tunajinau that tunajua, you know your worth, you add tax on it and you steer.
I think the situations vary, and this is why I didn't bring up the mediation and the communication and such solutions, because situations are very, very unique right now, and everyone is going through very different things. And I am not going to expect someone who's in an abusive situation to stay and try to reason with someone who's abusing them.
True.
Or to, sijui chali yako alikuchapa sa unampeleka kwa parents, sijui nini, haita happen, haitasikika. Immediately you're in a situation where you're in danger, whether you are lacking even emotionally, even emotional abuse. We're not able to pick these things because saizi each generation do start tunaanza seek information. The people before us, like our parents and them and our like grandparents, they were not very intentional with learning new things and knowing how to parent. It's like kila mtu ana wingi stuff, like you just learn on the job as you go. And although we had that more community sense and it was easier to be closer, right now ni factors mob sana zinafanya to sikwe together. Like work ni mob, you have to consistently make money. Capitalism is on our necks. It's very difficult even for fathers to be as present as they would like, because, you know, he has to take care of all these things. And the mom, even if she's staying at home, like she might be lacking on being outside there, you know, being with her friends, getting other things done. So it's just, like I said, times ina change na tuna try ku fix vitu ndo tuweze ku fit into how the times are changing. And while I would like for us to be able to be friends, especially, this is something I always say, date someone you like, so that even when mekosana na hampendani na hamtaki anything to do with each other, you're able to understand that as a family or with having kids now, this changes everything. You have to be a bit more present and a bit more intentional with your parenting. It's okay if you don't want to talk to me, but can you show up for the kids? Can you be there? Can you be present? Can you make sure I don't have to call you ati sijui leo kuna soccer practice, kesho kuna. Can you just be a hands-on parent? Because this is something we both decided when we decided to make this kid and keep it, you know. So I'd say, depending with whatever situation you're in, I don't like it when people stay in relationships just to, because I am a kid who grew up in such a situation. Mm-hmm. I grew up in a situation where we had to really save family face. Mm-hmm. And outside, everything always looked very, we're okay, we're good, we show up together, we always have matching vitenges. But really, there was no family in there. Like, it was very, very chaotic. Mm. So if you're in a situation where you're feeling like you are unhappy, you are lacking ata emotionally, inaka kitu ndogo, lakini this, your lover doesn't talk to you, they don't talk to you the whole week, ati silent treatment, ati jome ukasirikia, please start considering other solutions. Like, start seeing, of course, siati, if they're not like harming you, if you're in a situation where you're able to find out if this is especially your friend, find solutions that are good for you. Of course, siati utamka tu jitoe siku moja uende, but do not take abuse in any form. Do not stay because you need to, sijui the kids need two parents. Do not stay because, try to make sure that you're good for yourself so that you're able to be good for your family. And saizi, people are not, unfortunately, not many people are that patient in their relationships. It's because maybe we haven't grown in situations where we've seen people we can emulate, or we haven't been around people who we see making these things work, and we haven't sourced the information that teaches us, you know, how to deal with this. If someone is going through this, do this. If you can talk to someone about this, talk to them. It's always, I'm done, I'm tired, nini, nini. But if we start dating the people that we like, don't just ati mtu amekupea attention, so mnaanza kuongea, mnaanza kulaikiana, because feelings can grow out of nowhere. But make sure that this person is your friend so that when we're in such situations, we're able to navigate better and make better decisions. That's true, but you do know also people tend to change. Yes. It is in the nature of human beings to change. But there's something Bobby has said, abuse, you know? But also, there is this point, na mtu asini crucified tafadhali, ninauliza tu because I have to ask it. In the current generation we are living in, tunajijua. Some of us do not want to be accountable for our decisions and choices we make, you know? And when someone wants to hold us to account, we call it abuse.
There is that part where someone wants us to be responsible for our decisions. We start telling them they're affecting our mental health. You know,
Lord.
stress.
When I hear that word, I'm like, guy, here we go again.
Victim.
When someone wants to hold you accountable for
That in itself is abuse.
Yeah.
and people, and you, because you don't want to be responsible for it, you call it abuse. You know, there are such situations. Are we also not refusing to take responsibility for our actions?
That we're not doing, yes. We are very immature. As in, this generation is very immature. No, honestly, as in, for you, like, nobody can even sit you down to advise you, because you're gonna think now people have ganged up on you, you know? As in, everyone is constantly on the defense. Nobody wants to look within. People don't practice introspection these days. Hakuna mtu jita mkutano, you know? Like, call yourself hapo nyuma, you're the blue tent. And tell yourself things, you know? And again, that's why people don't like being by themselves with their thoughts. Utaki ukaa kwa nyumba because you will go mad. You know?
Yes.
You will go mad. You'd rather just be out there, you know, at a party or in the club, because you don't want to practice introspection. Because I promise, once you do, it is the toughest thing to do, but the most
Rewarding.
Yes. You know? You know? Jite, Jembe boy, as in that decision you made was stupid. It was stupid. It affected people around you. It's affecting you. It's affecting your work. Jite mkutano. Be nice to yourself. There's condemnation and there's rebuke. What I tell people is rebuke yourself. You know? Don't condemn yourself. There's a difference. Because gentle rebuke, you unajitoa from that normal, like you identify this is the problem, you identify that you are the cause of the problem, hello, you know, and then how do you move forward? But people don't do that, and that's why I call them very immature and irresponsible. And that's what leads to all of these problems. Nobody cares. I don't want to be told anything. Why are you telling me stuff? Why? You used to call
I know everything.
And everything. Fountain. My mother used to say fountain of all knowledge, you know? Yeah, it's crazy.
Actually, let me ask this question, watu wa nyumbani. Wale mko home, kama una watch hii show, hebu tumia SMS ya 2242 ama kwenye Twitter, Daybreak. Ukiwa na ngori sahi, say with your person, who is the first person you talk to? Do you talk to your parents? Do you talk to the internet? Or do you talk to your age mates? Kama kuna issue sahi kwa familia yako, wewe na mtu wako mnazozana, nani wa kwanza unaendea sahi akusaidie kuhandle these issues, si ndio? Alafu big up this man CJ, amesema is watching. Si ndio, anasema great job. CJ endelea kututoka tu, no problem.
Bana.
So kuna sasa, wacha ni switch gears pia niilete kwa boy child.
Okay.
Kuna meme imekuwa ikitrend recently, inasema mazee, ukianza kudate dema kuna mtoi na wewe ni kijana hujaioa, ni ngumu sana uanze kudate dema na mtoi. Juu ama dema kuna watoi wanakipi, like wanajua kuishi na vijana. Then mtu akajibu hapo chini akamwambia buda game inaanza 1-0. lazima ujue ucheza ball. Sawa, hiyo game inaanza ikiwa 1-0. Hiyo timu nyingine inajua iko 1-0 down. Lazima ijirushe. You get? So then I had this conversation with ladies, actually jana jioni. I was talking to my sister. Nikamuuliza mazee, hii situation unaonaje? Kwanza akaniambia hiyo topic ni dicey, but kuna madem hapa nje wanapata watoi sahi as fashion. Juu wana feel vijana wako willing kudate madem wako na watoi more than madem wana watoi. So it got me thinking, could that be a pressure also for people to get children so that you get but the exact words aliniambia kuna vijana hapa nje wanataka kudate madem wako na watoi. Unaona like anajua tu dem hata msumbua. Number one, there's that fear of, you know, if you already have a kid, probably you've lived your life.
It's like a preference thing.
Like in some sort of way. So wewe tukianzana, at least unajua kuishi in a certain way. Utanivuruga sana than dem tu tumeanzana from zero. Unaget?
Okay.
So is that a pressure that is happening around? Ama tu ni kitu tumeanza ku create?
So for women are the ones who want to date guys without
Men
Guys
want to
want to date women who have a child at
who
least.
have a child already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most guys, when you maybe I feel now I want to settle down.
Okay. Yeah.
Juu generation ya kina Bobby ni ya kustie like now we are taking this. We gone.
We out.
Gone. We ain't listening. We out.
You know, I'm trying to think.
Does that ground someone in some sort of way?
I'm thinking, is the reasoning so that, you know, when he's already settled with this mama, maybe he has the notion that she's not going to be able to leave?
Not to leave. The
Not
kid is
necessarily.
Yeah.
like she is mature
She's just
enough.
better enough,
You know,
yeah. Okay.
Georgina said we are immature. This
Yes.
generation is.
Yes.
But now you'll be feeling this one is mature enough.
Yeah.
Because why? Ashajua motherhood.
Yeah.
Unaona, eh? And I want because naturally when we discussed here about men settling down, there's what we look for, and there's what determines when a man is ready to settle down.
Okay.
Mostly it's financial,
Okay.
you know, and the person you want to settle down with is a person that you think can take care of your family.
Yes.
That is what you look for in a woman when you want to settle down as a man. You know?
So mi wananionanga wanasema huyu.
Live wire.
Hapo iko shida.
Na huyu
Nijikuta.
Oh.
so kitu kama hiyo.
Yeah.
Is it also a pressure that is unaelewa swali yangu?
Naelewa. Mimi naelewa,
Yeah,
but
I'm getting there.
Nashanga too, like is it a cluster, like tumeshindwa ku make decisions on our own individually, because I'd like to think, you know, you're asking me, it's like the situation kwa ground, like
Yes.
kuna wase, meaning kuna wase wanadu hii stuff.
Ina happen sahi.
Yes.
Hivi is that the route now we need to be taking, ama turudi saa pia tujite kama mkutano tujiambie tumeanza kuchoma?
Well, I don't know if it's a preference thing. If it's a preference thing, it's
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
If you just have a type,
Yeah.
you know, that's okay.
Ah.
As long as like you're not belittling other people who are not your type, you just go for your type and you love them correctly.
Okay.
That's okay for me.
Yeah.
But if there's another motive, like it's for other reasons, like you have reasons like, oh damn, come on, as I take care of the kid, she'll take care of me. So now you go be the second born now there in that relationship. Now she has to take care of you again because she already knows how to take care of a kid. If it's such situations, or if it's like to put down another cluster of, you know, women or something like that, then that's a problem. If it's a preference, if it's mi napenda tu mademu wako hivi wanafanya hivi, hiyo ni sawa. Na kama una step up as like a sufficient boyfriend or father figure or whatever shoe you're feeling in that relationship, that's very okay with me. But something I want to say is, afadhali huyo mse anajua Kenya ana like na anaenda for it than wase wenye hawako sure na wana guess. You know, exactly.
Yeah.
They're just, they come into situations to destroy more than it is to build. I'd say if before you get into a relationship, or if you want to date, or if you want to make babies, whatever situation you're looking to get into, please make sure that you're very emotionally sufficient for this role that you want to play, whether it's as a boyfriend or as, because even in that relationship, this man, when he gets into a relationship with such a woman, it's not that he's quite easy downhill at yo, she's a nice caregiver, she knows how to take care of. Situations are very unique, and you have to know that you have to show up for her in the ways that she'll need you to show up for her. And now there's another child who's not even yours. So these have to all be very deliberate and intentional decisions that you're making. So if you have a preference, well and good, ka unaweza step up fiti. But kama haujui kenye unafanya, haujui kenye unataka, haujui dynamics za that type of relationship, please don't. And I think something we do, the reason we don't know how to deal with the many situations that we're in is because we do not get into them knowing what we're putting ourselves into. Like I said, like me growing up, I grew up thinking, ni unaweza date tu mtu yote anaweza kupay attention. Like as long as someone is nice to you and they smile at you. Now that I'm older, I see lazima ni mvet. Lazima nijue how is he, how does he speak, what does he do, how is he like, how does he react to this?
Criminal record.
Exactly. Ako CRB.
Like real, did you?
Yes.
Ako na baby mama wangapi?
That's true. medical history. Hey.
Wait.
Yes.
But the first
Yes.
date, you have to have like a whole 16 full scalps of questions. Let's do this. Okay.
Yo.
Yeah, blood type,
Really?
you know, because of the rhesus factor. When it comes to child
Yeah.
Yes, it's true. It's true, but
Hizo kwanza za marriage. Hizo for marriage, by the way, ni very necessary.
was there
Very
witchcraft in your family?
Ati?
Yes. Eh?
Well,
Because of
too much.
generational curses, you guys.
You have to know all
You have
these
to know these
things.
things.
Because
Yes,
you know, because right now I'm dating very intentionally. Like when I say I want to date, I have this guy in my head. I know what he looks like. I know how he dresses. I know what he smells like. Kuna exceptions neza make, but if I go for what I want, I feel like it's easier for me to love what I want. Like you just told me in the makeup room, like kazi ukuwa ngumu saa zile hauipendi. Exactly. It's just the same thing. Like why would I nitoke hapa nje chalia nismailie? Juto amenismailia bas. Let's go start a family. You know, no, you have to be very sure. You have to know this is what I mean. See, like I said, there's no one way of doing things. I'm just saying the preferred way, the better way, the good way. If you want to be in a healthier situation, take time and be friends with the people that are around you and the people you date. Like yaneni, like jueni anapenda cream kwa coffee, so nisipoweka cream atasikia vibaya, so wacha nimweke cream ndo asikie vipoa. Unajua hizo vitu ndogo ndo zina make situations zikuwe better. Like it's not even about the grand gestures, and if you're able to show up for each other in this little ways, everything else just becomes so magnified and you're able to be friends. Even in the event that mmeachana na mme create a single parent home and you guys are co-parenting, it's just easier to deal with someone who's your friend than say kama hizo videos Nick Quach na AC Stevens. They really make me laugh. But you see, me siko exposed to that kind of situation, but I'm seeing it being shown on social media, meaning it is something that exists, meaning watu ongeleshana hivyo na watu cheka hivyo. And for them to show it so well, for us to be able to see that this is how watu sale wamekosana nini, it's so crazy. So I'd say mimi kwanza, I'm very, very big on communication.
Okay.
It is very important that you just put yourself in situations that you're able to say how you feel. And in the event that you're not in a situation that you're able to be yourself, then you know that's not your person. That's not the situation you should be in. That already, hiyo tu inafaa tu ikuoneshe. That's a red flag.
Kabisa. Wacha tuchukue feedback, alafu turudi tuangelee witchcraft huyu. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to get closer here. Wacha karibia hapa tusome.
Tutakugaya binoculars.
Yes, ndio at the other Kenya, at the other _ the other Kenya.
Zinakumi.
We are in a gen where women, especially young, believe because of independence, when some little misunderstanding occurs, they walk out of marriage. At the end of the day, the victim of this failed relationship will always be the child. For domestic abuse, it is okay to step. All right. At Viron Ochola, listening to the ladies on Daybreak will make you think like it's the role of the man to make women happy in any relationship. Building relationships involves maybe compromise that both parties must be ready to accept. This must be accompanied by respect, communication, and learning. They said that. At Orutu Wasam, young couples are getting brainwashed by the internet to ignore values of marriage, leading into separation. At Opembe _ Edgar, the Western culture has made it be the way it is today. Ladies have come to realize they can do without a permanent man. We do same jobs, same degrees. So what we are the same, not those days you were forced to be exchanged with goats. You have your own freedom now. All right. At Chile _ Okeno, so many factors contribute to single parenthood. 1, women have been empowered. Things we can't stand, we ain't forcing it. It is not working, it won't work. 2, unnecessary pressure which ain't adding value to our lives. I walk away from it. 3, violence. 4, my peace of mind is key. 5, I can provide for my kids if the marriage isn't working. All right? At Odoyo _ Velma, social media ndo inapea watu kiburi mingi. I still believe in submissiveness and respect in marriage. Then we put God first. My young people, waachane na pressure ya family na kukuwa na watoi juu ya mabeste, since we end up ruining these kids life if we are not ready for marriage.
That's true.
Okay?
I don't know which lady.
All right.
Byron is watching. Because we spoke on communication.
Okay, you see, is when you gave an ideal situation, you know, but you also did mention about improving yourself every day and learning, sindio?
Yeah.
Hizo ni happenings inafanyika, pia mmeona feedback ya wase vile wanasema.
Yeah.
Kuna situation that side took already. Unaelewa? We are in a generation where single parenting is happening. From what you've just quoted, yeah, hizo clips kina Nick wana do, is evident that pia haifanyiki virahisi. That single parenting is not happening in a soft manner. There is push and pull. Okay, we have established here that bringing up a child alone, as a father alone or as a mother, kuna challenges mtu yanapata. We have also established that pia if you stay together as parents for the sake of the children, pia mna affect our to. It takes a toll on them. Sindio? So now then, how do you do it? What is the best way to do it that, okay, imeshindikana, it's not happening? Okay? Again, how do we do it so that we don't affect this child?
You have to grow up. You have to be very intentional and realize that this situation is bigger than your romantic relationship with the other parent. You have to either rise above it or just, I feel like, in my opinion, remove yourself from each other's lives. Because keeping the child in constant fight or flight, fighting, like chaos, it's very, very detrimental. Like for real, afadhali single parent at that stage. Afadhali aishi peke yake na mamake ama peke yake na babake. I feel like that's better. But I'd say like, just try. Like, why can't you be selfless enough? This is also part of your child's development. Why can't you be selfless enough to understand that to fight baadaye ama to fight mbali, but when we're here, let us pretend basi. Let us be respectful in front of the child. Hata hizo phone calls aenda waambie babako sijui nini. Let's stop all that. Ama mamako anakuanga. Let's stop all that, because just show your child that you really, really respect this other parent, because it really forms a lot of the child's opinions on relationships as they're growing up. And they see, kids are creatures of habit, they learn from seeing what you're doing. So if this is all they see, it becomes their normal. So yaki grow anajua, si lazima buda kwa keja, so mi si lazima niendange home. Na nikifika home nipate bibi amepika. Nisipopata amepika, jumadhangu alikuwa anapika. Hata siku hizi tukiongea na machali, mnakatiana, unasikia mtu anasema, my mom used to, and you're like, yeah, your mom was oppressed clearly. Like, this is a very, very different situation. Stop expecting your mom in this situation. This is a partnership. This is not me coming here to be your mother. This is not me coming to do the things your mom used to do. You have to be very intentional about growth. Like, hata wale watu wanakanga, they know it all. I promise you, they do not. We're all learning every day. Every day. You think you know it, and then tomorrow something else happened and you have to learn something else. It is consistent learning. The only thing you need to do is decide, this is what I'm going to do. And yes, najua hiyo ideal situation. Kuna situations enyewe, there's no learning, there's no coming back from that. Maybe you are hurt really, really badly in the situation. Even if it's not like physical, maybe it's like you went through things that were very, very horrible, and hapo unafeel enyewe huwezi. Maybe what I'd say is, by the time you're deciding to be a parent, I have cats, so I don't want to compare it to kids, but I'm saying if I can be like that with my cats, these are cats, they're not human beings that I've given birth to, but if I can be that caring, I need to know, amekula, ametoka nje, ako sawa, ni mgonjwa, nini, this is a cat. That you made a whole human being. Selflessness yako inafaifike wapi? Mi siezi kula alafu niende kulala na cat yangu ijalala. And you as a parent, you're somewhere, you don't know if your kid ate, you've not called to check if they have school fees, if they've been in school. We have to stop all that, because this is now beyond the romantic relationship you have with the other parent. be very deliberate in your parenting and understand that just by having that kid, selfishness lazima itoke out the door. Lazima itoke out the door. You have to do whatever you have to do to make things work for these kids, because they will grow up into people who need help dealing with their emotions. And why do we want to bring up more kids who are like that? Si tu agroisha tu vizuri ndo sasa society hata ikwe better.
Kabisa.
I think, so now when there's no intention, when there's no love, when there's no communication, the children are still alive. So I feel like there's no real, so I don't know, there's really no real answer to this. I'd say the government has to do a lot. There's a lot that needs to be done by our leaders in this country. And maybe let's have counselors in school, because we still have these kids in primary school, they're in high school from unstable families. Then how about we have counselors in schools? How about we have trained social workers? You know, I know we have recreational areas in estates, in places. How about we find them there, you know? Because, for example, now you've walked out of your marriage, you've walked out of your abusive marriage, and you have a child. That child, achana na that maternal, you know, attachment, you know? And he or she will want to look for a father figure. So, mtoto tunamwachia nani? You understand? And that's exactly, and that's how you now start finding the boys in gangs, the boys in drugs. That's how you start finding the girls, you know, looking for mubabas, you know, because
we need a dad,
figure, you know, but then you're always looking for something you missed.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
And since you don't even have like a benchmark, you don't even know what you're looking for. As long as it feels safe, as long as it feels like something like love, there's a problem.
Yeah.
So since we've already established all of this, maybe counseling, in my opinion, and the leadership has to step in a lot. Yeah.
In terms of shule.
In terms of shule, yeah, now where the kids are.
Kuna kitu Roberta alisema lakini juu time imeisha. We alisema, because my mom did this, I want you to do this. But clearly your mom was open.
I saw your face.
But again, mama yangu alifanya za ukweli, unafaa.
End of date mamako. End of date mamako.
That's what tunaongea kuhusu submissiveness.
Look, this generation of ours, kuna vitu mingi sana tunakata ku take from generation ya kitambo, zenye maybe ndo zilikuwa zina hold fabric ya family. Una get? So, well,
but you know the men those days, they were providing.
Okay. They
were making sure the home that's okay
and protective.
Exactly.
Right. Let's do this. We will have that topic. It is a whole topic you want to begin. It is a whole topic you want to begin. Now we will not. We will do that. Because we cannot reduce a man to providence, to just providing. They have a lot.
No.
And you can't make me your mom.
We can't reduce a man.
And you can't make me your mom.
Okay. Let's do this. 30 seconds. Final comment. Social media handles. 30 seconds.
Thank you, Shata. Watu wapendane.
30 seconds.
Watu wapendane.
Okay.
Kukiwa na love na friendship.
Yeah.
Hata your submission come so naturally. Sita feel ati nakuwa mamako. Yeah. Nafanya juu nakupenda. Na we utafeel na kureduce to just providing.
Yes.
utafanya juu unanipenda.
So it's not about fighting. We're different, and we can accept our roles that make us complement each other.
Kabisa.
Roberta Bobby on camera gani? Roberta Bobby on everywhere on social media, and Love and Orgasms. I have a podcast out today. So, muisikize.
Wapi?
Love and Orgasms.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Wapi, Spotify? Where exactly?
Everywhere. Apple,
Everywhere.
Spotify,
Nice.
Anchor, Nini, all streaming sites.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So, like what she said, as in, for me, love, intimacy, faithfulness, respect, you know, and don't think about yourself all the time. Think about your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Where's the camera? Everybody, where? There. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, as in the greatest of all is love. Nampenda. Georgie Nambera, everywhere. It's in a podcast. Can I join yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Listen, then decide.
I know. Yeah.
All right. Mimi nikimalizia ningependa kuambia hivi. Sawa sawa. hii kitu ikifika point imekuwa it's no longer a boy girl thing, there's a child involved. Well, no one would be advocating for watu kuachana, but kama already unaishi kwa hapo mmeachana, please let's not make life difficult for each other. Ni sawa tu, sisi ilishindikana, let's not punish our child for it because sasa ilifanyika, so sisi wawili tunakuwa enemies. We are fighting because sasa haifai. Sawa? All right. Mimi nikiondokea, make sure mna follow Willis Raburu everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Willis Raburu. Pia YouTube. Okay? Kwanza tuko na show tunafanyaga na Willis on Wednesdays ya ball hapo. Mwende muache akisupport Manchester United, a useless team. Hayuko hapa leo ajitete.
Atapiga simu tusaye.
Mimi nifuateni Facebook, @shataboy. Instagram, @shata_boy. Twitter, @shatatikitaka. YouTube, Shataboy Steve Jacob Maunda. Imekuwa amazing. We do this tomorrow. Pia itakuwa amazing, okay? More live. Ibra unasema kitu? Oh.
Steve Jacob.
More live. Yeah man. Huyo topic kwanza.